It's the end of an era for East Campus at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Burr and Fedde residence halls will be torn down later on this summer after serving students since 1957. A Burr, Fedde and Friends Reunion was held over the weekend on East Campus. Jill Brown and Meg Kester helped coordinate the event, and they talk about putting together such a huge undertaking involving many generations.
It was a big undertaking. It's something we started about 2 years ago, as we knew the buildings were going to be decommissioned. We knew it couldn't go down without anybody knowing, and we thought, well, this is also a great opportunity to bring people back where their first home was outside of their other home. And so we started the process about 2 years ago, and hundreds of hours later, we're here to today.
I don't think they're going to get too worried.
Alumni had a chance to roam the halls and find their old rooms for one last look. Well, here it is, my old room, 214 on Burr 2 West. I got to tell you, a lot of memories from this place back in the late 1980s. While I was here for the reunion, I got to meet some folks who were here in the early 80s in this very same room. Jeff McAfee and Jay Schilling lived in room 214 in the early 80s, and they talk about meeting their spouses, Denise and Kim, in Burr.
I met her at a party over just off 27th Street. And she had a couple friends with her, and
they made sure it happened.
Yeah. And they knew maybe I'd ask about you or something. I don't know, but anyway, they kind of got us together, and the rest is history.
we met at the same party. We decided last night.
I think we just figured this out 30 some odd years later that we met at the same party.
Virginia Nelson has fond memories from her stay at Fedde.
When I moved down to Fedde, I was very blessed. We were up on third floor, and evidently there must have been a large group of seniors or upperclassmen that moved off. So when we moved in, over half of our floor was all freshmen. And so we had a bunch of young blood that didn't know anything about the community or about the town. And so we bonded. We were definitely a family. And it's amazing. There's still at least over a dozen of us that probably talk on a regular basis, and Christmas cards and all that stuff. And so it's kind of nice because you spread out and you have a friend in every corner of the state and beyond.
But moved in with a guy, Dave Nelson, who was from Potter, Nebraska. And funny, the first thing that comes to mind was when he shot a pheasant, brought it back and cleaned it in the room, and about 3 or 4 days later, we couldn't figure out what the smell was in the room. Looking all over, couldn't find it. And he finally looked back here in the corner, and he had forgotten to take the bones out. So I was stinking up the whole room.
My mom was in Fedde. My dad was in Burr. Came down in the fall of '57 after graduated high school, so it actually was lived here, the first group of freshmen when it opened, and then 2 of my older brothers and my older sister all lived here as well. And before I moved out, after our sophomore year, we lived here both our freshman and sophomore year. I wrote my name underneath the drawer on the bottom.
Fedde and Burr will see their final days later on this summer. And the students will move into these brand new residence halls just east of the Union on East Campus this fall. The new hall offers approximately 370 beds in a state-of-the-art facility just east of the Union on East Campus. The new Massengale Center features an open layout, more common areas, and floor lounges. It'll also feature a game room, social area, and also new study rooms. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Joe Gangwish.